My name is Sarah Smith, and I manage the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program here at the Nebraska Department of Education in the Office of Nutrition Services. You may have seen me previously in other places around the department. I also lead efforts that support local foods and farm-to-school programming across the state. So the purpose of this webinar, though, is to provide guidance and some technical assistance to you all and for eligible school districts and sites that wish to apply for the upcoming school year 2020-2021 Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump right into the content for the webinar here. Hopefully, one moment as I move these slides forward. There we go. Laptops. Okay, so today what we're looking to discuss and accomplish is we'll first take a quick look at how, when, and why this Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program was established. We're going to cover what deems a school eligible or ineligible to apply for the program. Also, the USDA has established requirements for what must be included in a school's application in order to submit, and then also requirements for implementing that program. So we'll take a look at those. We're going to walk through the NDE online application process, and then I want to make sure and share with you a couple of upcoming opportunities in the next few weeks and months. So today, this webinar will be recorded. We'll post it on our website on NDE Nutrition Services. So you'll be able to view this again at your convenience, and you can share it with other team members who may not have been able to join today. Please remember to go ahead and keep your microphone muted for the duration of this training. If you have questions, though, don't hesitate to enter them into the Zoom meeting chat box. We have folks online here with us from the department that can help assist in answering some of those questions and making sure that I'm seeing those. At the end of this presentation, which I anticipate won't take more than 30 minutes, then we're here to answer some of those questions as they come up. You'll be welcome to unmute your microphones as well for that question and answer time. So first things first, let's just make sure that we know right off the bat that the application deadline for FFVP for the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program this coming school year 2020-2021 will be on Friday, May 29th. So we have a couple weeks here before that deadline comes up, and we are available to assist with any questions as you have them. So the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program, as you likely know, is a federally assisted program that provides free fresh fruits and vegetables to children at eligible elementary schools during the school day. And the goal of the FFVP is simply to introduce children to these fresh fruits and vegetables that they might not get otherwise. We like to include new and different varieties to really expand what they can learn about and increase overall acceptance for them and consumption of these fresh, unprocessed produce. So the FFVP also will encourage healthier school environments overall by promoting nutrition education. So that's a key piece of the value and goals of FFVP. As far as how long has this been around, well, funding for the FFVP that will be available this year is coming from the same source it's come from 2008. So that was through the Food Conservation and Energy Act under the Farm Bill. The Farm Bill amended the National School Lunch Act and added a new section 19 for this program. So in the coming months, states including Nebraska will be awarded a specified amount by USDA Food and Nutrition Service. And that grant period for us will be from July 1st through June 30th of next year. We will then award out to eligible applicants that are awarded in two different parts, and schools will be able to use those funds in one allocation and then a second. So that first allocation, we don't know exactly when the first opportunity will be for using the funds, when they will be allowed to be used. It will depend on when we are awarded from USDA and when our board approves of the use of those funds. But it could be anytime after July 1st. And then the second allocation begins on October 1st and goes all the way through the end of your school year or June 30th, whichever is sooner. All school districts that apply will be notified of results once NDE has received this USDA announcement of total state funding allocations. So as soon as we know, we will get that information out to applicants as soon as possible. So walking through this application, this process this year, it is an online application only. So we have a survey link or an application link that you'll find on the NDE Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program webpage. Each eligible school site that's interested in applying for the program will apply separately. The application can be completed by the school building or by the district's central office on behalf of the school. Keep in mind that if multiple school buildings in a single district are applying for the program, even though some of that information may be common to all, answers will need to reflect the unique aspects of implementing the program in each building. So as you start to work through this application process, I just want to make sure and note that the application allows multiple submissions for a given district with multiple sites. So therefore, we weren't able to create a survey that saved your progress as you went. So once you get into that application, you'll want to finish it completely. So we highly advise you to review the application prior to submission and have your responses ready at the time of submission. You can access a printable copy of that application in its entirety on our website, NDE Nutrition Services, School Lunch Program, and then you'll go to Fresh Fruit and Vegetable page. You're welcome to email me for that link directly. So we have a reference version there. We also have a fillable PDF version. If you have multiple sites that need to fill that out, but one person that will be doing all of the submissions, then you're welcome to use that fillable PDF and send that out to those that have the information needed for the application, and they can send it back to you to do the submission. Again, it has to go through, however, the online Qualtrics link, which is our platform for this application. We will not accept any paper or electronic versions sent through email. As far as eligibility goes, to be eligible to participate in elementary school as defined in NDE Rules 10 and 14 must have 50% or more of their students eligible for free or reduced price meals. Priority is given to schools with the highest free and reduced enrollment. Each eligible site within a district that wishes to participate in the FFVP must complete this annual application. So the list of eligible sites, you will find those lists of buildings that are eligible to apply on our website as well. So that's another piece of great information to review and make sure that you know which sites in your district are eligible for this program. NDE does reserve the right to remove a school's application from consideration when the school fails to meet the deadline for application completion. Remember, that deadline is Friday, May 29th this year. Or another reason could be that the school does not have support of its administration. Each school is required as part of our application process to attest to support by the food service manager, the school principal, and the district superintendent or their equivalent positions for participating in the program. So we'll walk through that in more detail in a minute here. A site might also not be considered for participation if NDE has concerns with the school's administration of another child nutrition program. And last, if NDE believes the school can't properly operate the FFVP despite previous support from NDE. Schools need to ensure that they appropriately plan for their FFVP budget yearly and they adequately spend down those funds each month. A school that consistently claims less than the adequate budgeted amount monthly and 2 years in a row returns greater than 50% of the site's allocated FFVP funds will be ineligible to participate in the FFVP in the subsequent year. So here are some requirements for schools that are participating in the FFVP. All schools that participate are required to serve FFVP a minimum of 2 times a week. You're also required to make these free fresh fruits and vegetables available to all children enrolled in that school in the participating grades. You'll serve the FFVP only during the school day, but not during breakfast or lunch service, and not before or after school or in the summer. You're also required to widely publicize within the school the availability of free fresh fruits and vegetables. It's important that the students know this program exists and that's what's happening, as well as your administration and your staff. And then you do need to make meal accommodations additionally for students with disabilities like you would in other meal programs. If you would take a minute and make sure that you have yourself muted, if you're not muted now, if you would do that, that would be great. Okay, let's look at a couple of these application requirements. The online application will walk you through right up in the beginning the requirements for the program in detail, so please do carefully review all of that information in the application before you submit. We do really strongly encourage all eligible schools that have 50% free and reduced in our elementary schools to apply for this program. USDA requires that all applications do include certification of support with signatures by the district superintendent, the site principals, and the school food service director at a minimum. So this year, all applicants are required to submit 2 certification forms. There's one for the site level and one for that sponsor or district level. You can download these forms on our FFVP page, NDEs, or you can also access them right there in the online application. Again, I want to encourage you to have this process done before you start to fill out the application. So your best practices for this would be to download these 2 forms from our website, then have the appropriate folks sign and return to you, and then upload that into the application when you are prompted to do so. This is what you'll see it looks like. This is the example site certification with the required signatures. You'll see it's asking for the principal signature, the site manager. In lieu of that, you can use your district level food service director's signature, and electronic signatures are acceptable. And here you'll see an example sponsor certification form. So this is going to be at that district level with the superintendent, that food service director, and electronic signatures are acceptable. I just want to point out that this form will be uploaded. It'll be the same form uploaded into any site that's applying under your district. So you don't need to have your superintendent necessarily sign multiple forms. They'll sign one and you'll use that to upload into the system. The expectation is that your superintendent is aware and supports the program being offered in the sites that you anticipate applying for and potentially being awarded for. A few additional application requirements that you'll see. We do need to know, have you participated in the past? We're going to ask you which participating grades will you have in your school. Remember, this is not for 9th through 12th grade. We need to know how many enrolled students in your participating grades will be participating. That's very important. That number will help us to award you the accurate amount that you'll receive if you are awarded for FFVP. Schools receive a minimum of $50 a student per year, and schools that serve the program more than 2 times a week will receive between $51 and $54 per student for the year. So we use your accounting of how many enrolled students you'll be serving FFVP to in order to know the amount that is awarded to you. So do double check that number before you submit. Additionally, we need to know the number of days per week you'll be serving, for the reason I just stated, that if you serve more than 2 days a week, you will receive more per student for the year. You'll find after you get through some of the information, some of those logistics that we ask about your district and your site, you'll find that you need to include some additional narrative responses on these following topics. We need to know, how do you plan to serve out the fresh fruit and vegetable program? What is your nutrition education plan? What partners will you engage to ensure success of the program? And what is your marketing plan? You need to have a successful program, really be sure that you've established this implementation plan for serving out the fresh fruit and vegetable program. You're asking that question of who's going to do what, where, and when. This will help you to ensure that you're following the operational guidelines of this program. Keep in mind that you can, as a school, offer FFVP to children through a variety of distribution methods. And when you see this question on the application, this is what we're looking for. How do you anticipate serving FFVP to your students? Is it going to be inside the classrooms? Will it be in hallways, at kiosks? Are you using free vending machines? And how are you incorporating nutrition education? Is it going to be part of your PE program or anything like that? So we're really looking for some of the plans for how you will be serving the product to your students. This is an example from an application in a previous year. This example school said that they will implement fresh fruits and vegetables into the school day to expose students to the benefits of adding fresh produce in their diet, as well as trying something new. The fresh fruits and vegetables will be distributed 3 times a week to all school students. Classroom student leaders will retrieve the healthy snack from the kitchen to distribute in their classroom. The food service staff will prepare and store the fruit or vegetable following produce safety procedures. A guide is available in each building. Students have a dedicated healthy snack time in their classroom to enjoy new fruits and vegetables they may have never tried at home. During this time, classroom teachers will share the fresh fruits and veggies spotlight mini lessons in which they might discuss facts and information about the fruits and vegetables. They will also discuss healthy eating habits, manners, and model healthful eating by participating with students. So detail is important as you work on your application and this narrative, and also communication as a team with others in your school that will be participating in this program. If it's happening in the classroom, the teachers will need to be involved in determining how service will be happening. As you consider your program, you might also want to include what vendors you might be accessing for this program. You might use your current produce vendors. You might consider purchasing from a farmer's market or working with local producers. We have good resources on our website, on our Farm to School page, resources and finding local. We also, our partner, Buy Fresh, Buy Local Nebraska, just this last week published their 2020 local food guide. That link to their website is there. You'll also find that link on our website. That local food guide is available to order, so you can receive paper copies or to download as a PDF. You might also consider utilizing DoD Fresh for purchasing your fresh fruit and vegetable products. Here are some examples of when schools submitted their claims this past year for their fresh fruits and vegetables for this program. These are just some really inspiring and fun products that were sampled out to students across the state. So it's important to know that FFVP does provide us with the opportunity to purchase these exotic fruits or vegetables that may or may not be available locally or may not be domestically grown. Just be sure that when you're purchasing such items that you're always following proper procurement procedures and the Buy American provision. But this program is meant to expand awareness and knowledge and willingness for children to try new fruits and vegetables. So being creative and really filling the spectrum and colors of their plate of that rainbow is the goal. Next on the application, you'll see that you're asked about the nutrition education plan. This is a key component of the program, and it is required that you integrate nutrition education with the fresh fruit and vegetable program. So there are several important programs and initiatives you're probably already doing in your school, and that might be something like your required wellness policy with the nutrition education and promotion goals. You could integrate FFVP into those, making your wellness policy even stronger. Perhaps you're a teen nutrition school or you want to explore what teen nutrition offers. You could also participate in farm to school activities and tie that to FFVP. The handbook for schools, you'll find that on our website. You can also Google USDA FFVP handbook. It's a wonderful resource, and it's also encouraged that you review that in full when you participate in this program. On page 21 of that handbook, you'll see other ideas for nutrition education. This is an example from a previous application that came in. Again, that detail is great to know that there's a good scope of focus here for nutrition education for the students. Fruit and or vegetables will be delivered to the school on Wednesdays and Fridays. We do plan to implement extra service days as the FFVP allocation allows. Our school will then serve out the FFVP snacks on the day of or the following day due to the upcoming year's schedule. The FFVP items are served on multiple carts that have bags containing the FFVP snack. The carts will be moved throughout the school and delivered to the students. Each bag contains the adequate amount of servings for each class. For example, if Mrs. Smith's class had 24 students, they would be sent 25 servings, 24 for students plus 1 for the teacher to model consumption. Students will be able to enjoy their FFVP snack in their classroom. Our school does serve many additional FFVP snacks throughout the school year. We have used the program to have a healthy snack in the morning so students won't be hungry when trying to learn and focus in class. That's just one example. And here's a look at what some of the monthly reporting comes back as far as nutrition education. In Winnebago, we hear that we did a comparison on blood oranges and regular oranges with quarters from each in their bags. Now the elementary students are saying when they come through the lunch line asking for red oranges. And at Dodge Elementary in Omaha, we hear students will describe the attributes of the button mushrooms using as many adjectives as they can. Students will predict whether or not they will like the Braco flower before they taste it and graph the responses. We will calculate the change in responses. Students will brainstorm a list of words used to describe a piece of Tangelo. Students are given the FFVP fact of the day during morning announcements, and every week there is a different Friday FFVP trivia question to win a prize. So some of these ideas could be compiled and put into a summary for your FFVP application for next year. But when you have a plan in place for nutrition education, you can then delve into these details on your monthly reporting of different things you did as part of the program. So these are just some great examples from our schools. And third, there's this partnership plan. So on the application, you'll see, go ahead, discuss existing or potential partners that may assist your school with the FFVP. Some examples would be Nebraska Extension, local grocery stores, food distributors, local health departments, local colleges, nonprofits, hospitals, etc. Again, the FFVP handbook can give you some additional guidance on this, and I'm always available to brainstorm and reach out to other partners in our network to see if they can participate with you on your FFVP program. I'll just briefly kind of review what this partnership plan says. We see in here that this example school was partnering with Nebraska Extension. They were also partnering with the community health representative from the hospital to plan health and well-being activities. They worked with a local food distributor to provide the fruits and vegetables that the school was requesting. And if they were even uncommon fruits or vegetables, that distributor partnered with them to make it happen. They also include some nutrition education pieces that built into this partnership plan. So really think creatively and involve others in your school to see what they know about potential partners for this program. As far as marketing, you'll be asked to describe how your school will publicize the FFVP to students, to parents, and the community. So we'll see some additional ideas here. Use a bulletin board to promote that in your cafeteria. You could sign up to participate in Nebraska Harvest of the Month. There are some newsletters that are ready to go home to families there if your FFVP aligns with the products that Nebraska Harvest of the Month offers. Consider PA announcements that your students are leading so they can talk about that product, or do a press release once you know that you've received the award, and make sure those parents know that that's happening. Some ideas we see from Winnebago, they promote through their Facebook page, morning announcements, they email teachers and students. We promoted our seasonal greenhouses and the farmers market with the program as well. In Falls City, the school website has facts highlighting a fruit or vegetable of the month. Fact sheets are posted about the fruit or vegetable that is being served that day in the area where kids pick up the fruit or vegetable. And in Lincoln Public Schools, they have a website dedicated to FFVP. This area includes the fruit or vegetable of the month, the monthly menu, and buy it fresh, keep it fresh, learning about fruits and veggies on the go, and easy ways to fix fruits and vegetables. They also email the menu for FFVP to the school so they know what to anticipate each week. So keeping in mind, if you are awarded, then you will be expected to participate in training that is offered. You will certify the invitation that will be available through the district's annual school lunch application. And each month you are expected to submit this reimbursement claim that will include the costs of the fruits and the vegetables. Labor costs in some capacity are also allowable, as well as some supply and equipment costs. And we can dig into that after awards have gone out for the program. And you'll also see that information in the application this year. So keeping in mind that, let's see here. So all schools will be notified again of the awarded sites, whether or not you have been awarded, once we receive that funding announcement from USDA. So be thinking if you have questions on this process. This pretty much walks us through what to expect with the online application for FFVP this year. I just wanted to mention a couple of other items before we move into questions and answers. I wanted to mention that the fresh fruit and vegetable program right now during COVID-19, if you were awarded for the 1920 school year, those are allowable funds. It is an allowable program. There are a few things that might be different from the other operating programs right now, like lunch or summer programs. This memo here is available on our website, right on the Nutrition Services homepage. And I'm more than happy to talk through whether or not it's feasible for you to add something like FFVP to May or June. Again, this is for this school year, so it's allowable through June 30th of this year. I also want to bring to your attention next week on Wednesday, May 20th, we are co-hosting this Farm to School Connections food chat with the Nebraska Food Council and Nebraska Extension. Katie Parch, our director of the National School Lunch Program, will be joining to talk about the landscape of how schools are feeding students right now. But the primary purpose of this is not about presentation, but about providing a platform for schools and producers and distributors to really talk about what is the situation right now and moving forward, and how can we make local connections in order to ensure that we have local foods reaching markets like schools, and schools receiving the products that they need in order to safely and efficiently serve their students. So I encourage you to register for this, and we'll be sending, this will be available on our website this week, and we'll be sending an email as well, so you'll have that directly in your email to register if you're interested. Additionally, just a heads up, I know it's kind of difficult to be thinking far in advance right now with COVID-19 alive and well, but we are planning for this year's Mountain Plains Crunch Off. We were the Mountain Plains region champion in 2019, thanks to our schools that participated. And this year we'll be celebrating the entire month of October. We've chosen the date of October 22nd, but any day in October works. So there's lots of ideas for this that will be coming out in the coming months. We'll be partnering again with other states in our region, but be considering, I know we're not positive what things will look like next school year, but regardless, we can plan for this crunch off and celebrating local foods, healthy foods, and exposing our children to Nebraska agriculture in this way. So with that, I would like to invite you all to let us know what some of your questions might be for this application 2021 for the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program. Okay, so I see a question here from Chris saying that we received a grant years ago and participated in the FFVP for 3 to 4 years. We've submitted an application every year since, but have not been awarded. We are only a little over 50% free and reduced. Are any schools close to 50% free and reduced awarded the FFVP? So in Nebraska, we have awarded schools at different levels over the course of several years. We don't ever know exactly what the allocation amount will be from USDA. And I think right now, especially in the circumstances we have with schools sending back so much money this last school year with school closing, with unanticipated school closure times, I don't know what it will look like in this next year. So we do highly encourage schools to, if you are eligible to apply, the priority is from 100% free and reduced down. So unfortunately, if we run out of money, then we aren't able to award schools once that money is gone. But we do encourage schools to apply, since we don't know what to anticipate with the award amount and what we'll have to work with. Again, we are required to fund $50 per student at least. And so we can fund up to $75 per student, but we choose to fund the lesser amount so that we can award as many schools as possible. You're welcome to unmute yourself if you'd like to ask a question using your microphone. And again, that chat box is available. I just want to remind everyone that the FFVP application, the online link, is available on the NDE Nutrition Services Fresh Fruit and Vegetable webpage, and that application will remain open through May 29th. If for whatever reason you have any challenges with submitting that application, especially considering the challenging times, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or to any of my colleagues in nutrition services. They have great experience with this program as well. So any of us will be able to walk you through questions about the program or questions about the application. I'll wait just one more minute to make sure we don't have any additional questions come through the chat box. Or if you unmute yourself and want to say hi with any questions here, that would be okay as well. All right, not seeing any other questions come in. We'll just take this opportunity to thank all of you in school lunch work for the work you're doing, for being available to our students in Nebraska. So stay in touch, everyone, and hopefully we'll see your application come in soon. Thank you.